All right, today we're diving into a piece of tech that's completely changing your favorite restaurant from the inside out. And no, it's not another delivery app. This revolution is happening over the good old-fashioned phone call, and it all starts by fixing a problem that drives every single one of us crazy. You know the feeling, right? You're starving. You've been on hold for 10 minutes listening to terrible music, or worse, you finally get through, you carefully explain no onions, extra sauce, dressing on the side, and what shows up is, well, not that. That headache, that universal frustration, that's exactly what we're talking about today.
So why is this so hard? It's not just that the restaurant is having a busy night. It's a massive industry-wide bottleneck. It's this fundamental wall between a restaurant trying to serve you and you, a hungry customer, just trying to place an order.
And here's the first part of that problem. A whopping 78% of restaurants are facing major staffing shortages. I mean, think about that. That's nearly 4 out of every 5 restaurants you can think of. It means the person who should be answering your call is probably also running food to table 6, greeting people at the door, and trying to fix a wobbly table. There just aren't enough people.
And that staffing crisis slams right into this number. 65% of us, when we have an order that's even a little complicated, we still pick up the phone. You know, we want to ask questions, we need to make a special request, and boom, that's the perfect storm. The demand for phone calls is super high, but the restaurant's ability to answer them is at an all-time low.
So how do you solve this impossible problem? You hire a new kind of employee. Meet the AI voice bot. And really, don't think of it as a cold, clunky robot. Think of it as your new digital waiter, a crew member that's always on, never gets stressed, and is built from the ground up to handle the beautiful chaos of a restaurant.
Okay, so how does this thing actually work? It's basically a 4-step dance. First, it hears you. That's automatic speech recognition, or ASR, just turning your voice into text. Then, and this is key, it understands you. It figures out you want a large pizza, not a small one. That's natural language processing. The third step is pure magic. It checks with the kitchen's brain. And finally, it talks back to you, confirming everything in a totally normal, human-sounding voice.
Now that third step is the secret sauce. It's a system called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. Just think of it as the bot's perfect live memory. It's the thing connecting what you're asking for to what's actually available in the kitchen, right this second. So it knows the fish special sold out 10 minutes ago, or that you've got enough loyalty points to get a free drink. No more, let me go check, and putting you on hold. It just knows.
And look, these bots are doing so much more than just taking an order for a pepperoni pizza. They are quickly becoming these really sophisticated tools that can handle a ton of different jobs.
Just get a load of these numbers. The success rates are insane, often even better than a human. 96 to 99% on taking an order? That leads to a 15% jump in accuracy. And check out upselling. It's successful up to 94% of the time, which boosts the average check size by 22%. This isn't just about making things easier. It's about making the restaurant more money. And let's just zoom in on what advanced order taking really means. This is where it solves all our pet peeves. It's the system that doesn't mess up your no mayo, add avocado on a gluten-free bun request. It can handle that massive, complicated lunch order for your whole office. It finds and applies that coupon code you have, and then it takes your payment securely, all without ever saying, "Can you please hold?"
But you're probably thinking, a system for a fast food drive-thru can't be the same as one for a fancy steakhouse, right? Absolutely. And that's the whole point. This isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. The AI is customized for exactly the kind of restaurant it's working for.
You can see the difference so clearly right here. For a quick service restaurant near QSRs, the AI is laser-focused on one thing: speed. Get the cars through the drive-thru faster. That's the only metric that matters. But for a fine dining place, the whole focus shifts to service and experience. The goal is to perfectly handle a reservation, note that it's for an anniversary, and get the dietary restrictions right.
And for those QSRs, the results are just wow. We're talking about drive-thru times getting cut in half. A 50% reduction during a chaotic lunch rush is an absolute game changer. Plus, because the bot never forgets to ask, "Hey, you want fries with that?" the upsell rate jumps by 28%.
Now for fine dining, the value looks totally different. It's not about speed, it's about elevating the service.
The AI takes 40% of the workload off the reservation staff. That means they have more time to actually focus on the guests that are in the restaurant. And it drives a 25% increase in high-value bookings for things like private parties, because now the restaurant can take those inquiries 24/7.
Okay, so this brings us to the bottom line, the most important question. Does this stuff actually pay for itself? Let's peel back the numbers on the return on investment, because honestly, they're pretty incredible.
So the value comes from a few key places. Almost half of it, 45%, is from reducing the need for staff to just sit there and answer the phone. But look at this, another 30% comes directly from making more money through consistent upselling. And 20% comes from just getting the order right the first time, which means less food in the trash and fewer angry customers needing a refund.
And here it is. This is the headline number. The typical ROI for a restaurant is between 300 and 800%. But what's even crazier is how fast it happens. This isn't some 5-year tech investment. They often get all their money back in 30 to 60 days, sometimes in just 1 month.
This quote from the analysis just sums it up perfectly. One single bot can do the work of 1 to 2 full-time employees, but it does that work with better accuracy, more consistency, and it's always available. It never calls in sick, it never has a bad day, it just works.
And if you're wondering just how big this trend is, look at this. The potential market here is $3.2 billion. That's just in the US. This isn't some tiny little gadget for a few techie cafes. This is a massive, industry-wide transformation that's already happening right now.
So that leaves us with a really fascinating question. Given how well this works for both the restaurant and for us, the customer, the next time you pick up the phone to order dinner, you have to wonder, will you actually be talking to a person? And the real kicker is, you might not even notice the difference.